What do you say?
I say it was a good week. I say that
Good week for what?
A good week
for sitting on the couch and watching TV.
Yes, it was.
Oh.
It's like a routine now because we got the weekly stuff comes out now. So we've got the Winter Soldier, Falcon. We've got Invincible. We've got the Mighty Ducks. So like all these things are like coming out week to week. So it's like every Friday I look forward to like sitting down and just like, watching all this shit as it pops. It's good stuff, man.
I'm not so much a Mighty Ducks guy. They got me with. I came back for the Karate Kid thing, the Cobra Kai stuff, but Mighty Ducks was never my thing.
I will tell you the show is way more directed at like kids. It's a much more kids oriented show. It's almost like a weird redo of the original movie in a way.
Weren't the original movies geared towards kids?
Yeah, I mean, but like in a way, it's like Cobra Kai like is filmed for adults. It's made for people who watch Cobra Kai, and now we're catching back up with them all these years later.
Yeah, except that. Also remember that Karate Kid wasn't made specifically. It wasn't like a kid movie.
No,
they were high schoolers, and it resonated with adults.
Yeah.
It wasn't that adults were only going because they were bringing their kids to it.
Yeah. But like Mighty Ducks started off as a kid only thing, as a movie for kids, and it's that feeling about it, the way that the kids interact, and they're a majority of the show. Like Bombay pops up when he needs to. So far, he's fantastic.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So honestly, I don't know that I've ever seen an entire.
Oh, you've never even seen Mighty Ducks?
No, I mean,
oh man,
I'm a little older than you. Like I'd never I'm like, oh, this is about like grade school kids playing hockey. It's like or I don't even know. I'm even guessing at that. So were they older or younger?
So
or did each movie they end up going to an older grade or having problems?
The original set of movies was they started off as kids, and then as they grew, the problems grew.
High school and college.
Yeah, to where it began where he's a disgraced lawyer who has a background in hockey. Because of a court case, a drunk driving or whatnot, he has to do community service. As community service, he becomes a hockey coach. It's real oil and water at first, and then the Grinch's heart grew 2 sizes kind of bullshit. And before you know it, he loves kids all over the world. He's dating one of the head kids' fucking moms. Everything's all great. Then the next movie and so on and so forth, that journey. Well, this series picks up where apparently at some point, everything went awry. He lost everything, and he owns his little it's called the Ice Palace. I don't know why I almost went for quotations. It's this little dinky-ass fucking ice rink gym where no hockey's allowed. And for the first couple...
the Ice Palace, I think of the old... Wasn't there wrestling at the place called the Ice Palace once? Or am I thinking of the Cow Palace?
I think. Fuck, now I'm confused.
Yeah.
I was all ready to say something. I'm like, oh wait, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be both. Maybe. But and this series is about a bunch of the Ducks now aren't the underdogs. The Ducks now, they're the alpha team. They're the alpha organization. They're the best of the best.
The rebels have become the
oh yeah, they've become the norm or whatever. They've become the pinnacle. They're the best organization to work for.
There's a word I totally blanked on.
I'm right there with you, but the same like haze.
The rebels became the institution or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just this like ragtag. They're not even fucking hockey players. They're just a bunch of kids. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. This last episode they played the Ducks and got outscored like 19-1. And before the game, Bombay watching them play because the lead kid's mom is now the coach. She's not a real coach. They just skirting to whatever rules they have to play. She's about like, I just want my kids to have fun. Well, they're getting slaughtered. And it's not fun when you lose as bad as they're losing. And so Bombay's like real slowly putting stuff into like her notebook, like plays and shit. And like they scored 1 goal off his play, and everyone all feel good and shit. And the episode ended with the lead kid's mom having a a heart-to-heart with him in his office where he finally kind of reveals, like, he got royally fucked over by hockey. His whole life's been about hockey. And because of hockey, he's, like, you know, nowhere. So he has, like, very little interest, but he still loves it kind of thing. So they're doing the Disney thing with it. Listen. I love it because Emilio Estevez, the way he's playing Bombay now as this bitter, like, for the first 2 episodes, every time you see him, because he owns this ice palace. See,
I was confused because I didn't know who Bombay was.
Yeah.
Until you said Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make sense. I'm thinking of like some Indian guy. And like with the wiggling head when he talks with the accent, like thank you for coming.
No.
You know, and I'm like, I was totally confused until you until you just now
I put a sheet
revealed to me that Emilio Estevez is Bombay for some reason.
It's just great because for the first 2 episodes, he's so bitter.
I assume that's a hockey nickname. Like
Gordon? No, his name in the series is Gordon Bombay.
Oh God,
that's his name.
So weird.
It was the mid-90s, man.
Makes no sense at all.
And it's just great because like the first two episodes, and really kind of the first 3, every time you see him, he doesn't want anything to do with them. He hates hockey. He trashes them at all possible times. It's fantastic. And the only reason he's even helping them is because she found a way to get to a city grant for youth sports.
So it's money.
So it's money. But by episode 4, he's watching these kids. They just fuck off so bad. I mean, they're just so bad. They're so bad. He starts to feel bad for him. But for the first couple episodes, every time you see him, because he owns this ice palace and he runs all these kids' parties out of for ice skating. So every time you see him, he's got a half-eaten a birthday cake, and he's just got a fork, and halfway through his dialogue where he's trashing these people, he's just eating scoops of fucking, and it's a different cake each time. It's pretty good.
That sounds like the life right there.
It's pretty good.
I really wish like he put a fat suit on for this.
You would love the first couple episodes. If
just for the bitterness,
just for the bitterness of Bombay.
Like that's my jam.
Yeah.
Well, once we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Maybe not on this podcast, but the redemptive third act always like rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, and to be honest with you,
I just want to see a whole movie of someone acting like a piece of shit. Because that's the entertainment.
And this is perfect because I feel like he could still do that. Like he could just like feel bad. He could leave breadcrumbs that help them along the way. Breadcrumbs that help them along the way. But he should still just stay back. And he's like, nope.
That's very appropriate because they're ducks.
Yeah.
Mighty ducks. Breadcrumbs.
And he can just sit back the entire time and they can keep asking for help. And he's like, nope, hockey's fucked me my entire life. Not doing it. Not doing it. Just eating my cake and collecting my checks. But here's a play to help you out. And the great thing about the series is the Ducks head coach is one of the characters from another, from a Hulu show, Letterkenny, which I love. It's Canadian. I don't even know what to call it. It's a Canadian sitcom. I don't know what the fuck Letterkenny is, how to describe it. It's fantastic, and anybody has an opportunity, you should give it a test. Although they do that deep, like Canadian, like the vernacular and their vocabulary. It takes some getting used to.
Like the Trailer Park Boys, right? That's not Canadian.
That's not Canadian. No.
But is it the same type of show?
It's
quirky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Quirky,
it's just
like small circle town kind of.
Every inside jokes and all that shit. Yeah. But the hockey players, one of the head hockey players in that show is the head coach of the Ducks in this show, and it's great for me because like a lot of the stuff that him and his hockey players and the coach in that show are known for saying when he's trashing these kids, he's just saying the same lines. Although there are a few curse word omissions because this is Disney, but it's still pretty cool. So I don't know, it's a kind of fun, feel good show. If you have young kids and stuff, they'll probably like it. And if you're a fan of Mighty Ducks, so far I've enjoyed it.
Speaking of appropriate for Disney,
we're
getting less and less appropriate by the episode with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Let me tell you something, man. Because I know we're going to spend a fuck amount of time on that, but I just want to kind of start just the Mighty Ducks. But that last image when he puts the shield back on, and
it's like soaked in blood.
And soaked in blood, and they pan up. I was like, that's an iconic thing right there.
Can we talk about angles on the show?
Sure.
Every time they shoot, like, he looks great as Captain America until they shoot him straight on from like a below angle.
Yeah.
And then he looks like the old man from Up. With the nose and the jaw and the ears.
Yeah.
And they've even did a meme of it, but I can't unsee it now. Yeah. Every now and then they get a shot of him, like from like a upward shot of him, and he's straight on, and I can't not see that.
How about though, man? Like Wyatt Russell at first, I was like, who's? Because I didn't know at first. I remember, like, our first cast was like Wyatt Russell. Like, I'd never really seen him act in anything, and the big ears protruding out, and the goofy looking face. And you're like, all right, but
I think it works. Maybe I don't know if they thought this far into it, because sometimes he looks, you know, it's not like an intentionally. Like they've made the costume fit wrong, so he never seems right for the role.
Yeah. But
at the same time, sometimes when you look at him, it doesn't seem to fit right, and he doesn't seem right for the role. I don't know if I don't think that they were that strategic with it.
It might just be angles,
But it's like it's a thing I think we've created in our heads. When we look at the guy, it's like your body wants to reject him. And it's amazing because he keeps like in this episode specifically, he keeps every time he comes close to like you going, this guy is like wants to be the best and he wants to do right and he wants to redeem things that he regrets in his past and all this stuff, but then he just every time it's the wrong way.
Oh yeah, he always makes the wrong move.
Goes the wrong way.
He is everything that Steve Rogers wasn't, but he's not a villain.
Well,
he's just.
But like they hint, like
he's
it's
the
like,
perfect
he's
soldier.
Like, I've got 3. Excuse me, people. Yeah. Spoilers. Always spoilers on the show. Don't like that. Don't listen. Or come back later. That's probably a better suggestion. Please come back later.
Please come back anyway.
But like everything, even his qualifiers, whether it's true or not. In his own heart, he believes like, but I have 3 medals of honor. Yeah. But what did we do to earn those?
Yeah, exactly.
That never felt right. And this is my first opportunity to do something that feels right. But then
Wakanda ascends upon him,
dude,
and beats his.
I know
ass.
We're gonna be jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
But that scene, there's so many layers to it.
It was one of the best things ever, man.
Because he stumbles through that whole thing. I mean, through the whole episode, he stumbles where he's like, he doesn't give Sam even the 10 minutes he asked for and fucks that up. But you knew that was coming.
Yeah. I hated that, by the way.
Why?
Like Marvel, we know. In Marvel, listen.
No, but that worked out perfectly.
In a lot of ways, WandaVision, the way they did WandaVision kind of ruins this straightforward way of storytelling because you're like, hey man, you could have done something here that was a little off, not what was expected, but they didn't really do it. But I understand we've got 2 hours left.
No, yes, and he has to. He's on a pretty accelerated path here.
Yeah,
that he has to keep failing in his role.
Yeah,
so this is another opportunity to do that.
I think that especially now 4 episodes in, I think the beauty in what they're doing with him is he is any soldier that gets this shield. You think about Captain America and you think in terms of Steve Rogers, of the all the propaganda that he was entailed with in the 40s. Him coming back, and you think of him as you see him, but you don't think about what Captain America, the reality of the situation. And John Walker's just any soldier of his caliber that would get that responsibility without understanding the actual job.
Well, you're
especially when you start fighting super soldiers. Let me start fighting magical creatures.
Let me simplify that.
Yeah.
Let me simplify that. When Steve Rogers, again, he couldn't even qualify to be a soldier to do gray things before becoming Captain America. Mm-hmm. So his life was black and white and always got to stay black and white. Mm-hmm. And like Walker and his buddy Hodgkins or whatever.
Battlestar Galactica.
Whatever. Who we had said last episode is his only role on the show is to die.
That's it.
But he did a good job in talking him into taking the serum.
Yeah.
He's been living in a world of gray.
Yeah.
For a long fucking time.
Yep. And that's the big difference.
Yeah. But it's interesting because speaking of his buddy and talking him into it, like even after he gets a serum, he does like you're thinking when you're watching it, he's immediately going to jab it in his leg or something, and he doesn't, and he still is trying to every step away.
Yeah,
this guy is trying to do the right thing, and then they're sitting there, whatever it's called, like an open area cafe, whatever it was, where they're just standing there at the table, and he signs the autographs, and they're joking, and he still is questioning, like, what if I'm not right for this? And the other guy like says all the things to talk him into doing it, to make him think it's the right choice.
Yep.
But they're both wrong.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, we did so much bad stuff and whatever. And he's like, yeah, but how many people could we have saved if it doesn't discount? Yeah, but you've already waded through the mud. You're already dirty. You're already you've already stained or whatever you want to call it. It's so nuanced. It's so like, and it's really cool.
I love how much of a callback it is that original conversation that Erskine had with Rogers the night before,
right,
in the movie,
right,
where he's like, it makes a bad man worse and a good man better. It's like,
but also
it makes him promise.
But also the villains in their own story are the heroes.
Yes.
So most villains don't even realize unless they're like that, wringing the hands, twisting the mustache,
Red Skull,
tie the girl to the train. No, but even he was like about, he had his motivations too. It wasn't. Yeah. I acknowledge I'm evil and I embrace evil and we do evil things. It wasn't. He's not he's not the character. He's like
fucking Hugo Weaving.
So it's funny, and then to watch him constantly, two things that really I think broke him.
Get his ass beat every turn,
but not only get his ass handed to him, because he's like, okay, I can't compete.
He starts that way. He starts with listen, I know I'm a step behind everybody because I don't have the shit on me.
Right,
but after a while, that shit, you can tell how it starts to drain on him.
But then when he goes, they weren't even super soldiers.
Yeah.
When the Dora, how do you
Dora Mairu or Dora
Malaja or whatever.
Listen, I just call it. Listen, that was basically Wakanda. DMs. That was Wakanda just laying an ass
Lady
whooping.
Wakanda.
Ooh.
There's like three levels to that. One I don't think is there. Like the racial quality is not there because he's his best friend that he served with is black.
He doesn't see
and the first person in his world that you see is a girlfriend,
Iris.
Well, whatever. And yes, and so I don't think that's a component. But getting constantly, it's not only getting beaten by regular people that I think. You saw his face; he had broken at that moment when he said that. But it was also that every step along the way, he thought wearing that costume and having that shield was going to immediately give him respect.
Oh yeah.
And so when nobody respects him for it, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Captain America," and they don't give a fuck.
The one guy goes, "I don't care."
Right. And one guy was spitting his face too. And then these women are like, our jurisdiction is wherever we are.
Yeah.
They hand him his ass. The one even claims a shield for a minute.
Oh.
She does that step on it and catches it just like Captain America does.
Yeah.
I bet you he has. The funny thing is, there's not enough time to show this, but it'd been really interesting if you had shown a montage
trying to do that
of him trying to do that and not be able to do it, and this woman on her first try, not a super soldier, does it. And then the other lady has to tell her to give it back to him.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even just like she had claimed her trophy in that moment. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And Sam and Bucky just in the background going, "How's it feeling? How you doing? All right, buddy?"
Oh, that was hilarious. Until they realized that they were going to kill him. That those pointy sticks. See again he doesn't get it. He's condescending. He doesn't understand. Like when he's like, "I need a wingman."
Yeah.
And then this one, why don't we put the pointy sticks away? It's like, no, there's some high tech that But again, not everyone is as intimately knowledgeable with Wakanda as like,
and that's another facet of the job of being Captain America that you don't understand, realize, or it's not even anywhere near the manual. It's what happens. You get in the field and you realize that all the connection points and all the things that Steve did, where he went, the impacts he made, what that shield means to so many other people.
But even then, he still had to earn every respect and every whatever. And I think Walker thinks that
it just came with the costume.
That should come with the costume now. And that's, I mean, but that's probably a mistake that a lot of people have. Like when you put on the uniform to be a police officer or something like that, it's like, well, I mean, you're a police officer now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you automatically deserve respect. It's still what you do with the costume
and that reality
or
check.
uniform.
And that reality check is why we have all the issues that we have.
Yeah.
But it's a really good like Wyatt Russell. First off, he was perfectly cast for this. At this point,
I love him.
At this point,
but I loved him. You got to see the Goon too.
Yeah,
he's great in that.
But like, he
did a show, Room something or other. It's like a quirky show on AMC that's still running. Maybe it's still running, or did 2 seasons. I never saw that, but I heard that was good. He hasn't been like in a lot of stuff,
but he's good in the way where like, as he's going through this journey, we're watching the wheels turn upstairs. Like he's good at showing that when these moments happen where he's like, I am not only outclassed by super soldiers and technology, but I'm now outclassed by regular people. Just people, highly trained people.
Yeah, even like, and you look like when they were doing his credentials at the beginning and showing like, oh, MIT studied him or whoever it was, and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, but it's almost like, no matter how big of a pond you're in, and even if you're the big fish, there's always a bigger pond and a bigger fish.
Always. And the one scene we didn't get that I wish we had gotten was somewhere after the scene with Hopkins, where he's just sitting in the room staring at the vial before he does it, and just one last round of contemplations before he makes that choice.
I think.
But we also might get that at the beginning of next episode.
I think I think we're past that.
We might.
I think the contemplation was in the discussion he had with him in that courtyard or whatever, and then it's kind of a cool reveal during the fight to realize, and to almost at the same time, because you're like, wait a minute, did he? And you're not sure when he throws that shield into the wall.
That's when you knew.
No, you're not. You're still not sure.
I was.
You're not sure. When he bends the bar, you're saying it exactly the same time that Falcon says. And when Falcon goes, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
Is really it's the confirmation moment. You're suspecting it when he's like embedding shield, but he throws it so hard anyways.
Yeah.
You might think, and the shield might be able to just do that, and it might be an old wall.
Properties.
You could be like, all right, that's because it's a very special item, the shield. So who knows? But that confirmation moment, I feel like most people shared it with Sam.
Yeah.
And he says exactly what you're thinking. Like, what did you do? Oh no,
One of the good things they were doing with this episode that I'm kind of hoping they stay on, because I've always wanted to see it in more detail, is what Erskine was saying, because they've done a lot to call back to these conversations of the first Cat movie. I want to see the inner workings of the serum as it kind of grabs hold of you. And like they've shown little things, like when he loses his fucking mind, because it takes who you are and just basically magnifies you. So if you're John Walker, you have seen some shit and you've waddled into gray areas of life. Does the serum now
with regrets and whatever?
Does the serum now amplify that though?
Yeah, I think it. Well, I think it amplifies everything. I think he just is losing control, and that's amplified.
Yeah.
I think Steve always had such a strong core value system that he didn't stray from.
Yeah.
That just got strengthened. You know what I mean? So this guy's because he was a soldier before he became a super soldier. There's that that you don't question things. So so you will do questionable things.
Yeah.
And so once you're down a questionable path, you're able to be more questionable.
And like Steve was always on that concept of right versus wrong, white versus, because he because he wasn't a soldier.
Well, and then he was
all he wanted to do.
But then he was a soldier for such a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And then he's thrown into another world. And he assimilated, but his core values were still able to be,
because he had never been subject to anything that would make him either A, question, or B, force him to go past what he believed in.
At least we never saw him tested that way.
No. And that's kind of part of the Cap character. And this series is doing a fantastic job of wow, this is why the shield was so heavy of a burden for Steve. You're watching it from the other side now. And it's cool, man. It's cool. And it's
funny that when they killed his sidekick.
Yeah, which I thought was too early, but okay.
It was, especially since this was the episode where the guy had a moment to show.
Yeah.
And you immediately liked the guy, even though he's giving him a bad advice. It's coming from a good place.
Yeah. You can tell he's the moral compass of the situation because John doesn't have anyone else to turn to right now.
Well, he's a sounding board, but they're both I think they're both good intentioned.
Well, he's his Bucky.
But you can't say that. But
well, not anymore.
Well, no, but I'm saying you can't call Black Guy Bucky, I think that's a racist term.
Oh, then they bring up in the show episode 1?
No, I've read it in the comics where Sam was like, "No, you can't call me Bucky. It doesn't work." No. But yes. But my point is that like they're both well intentioned, but that they're not.
Yeah.
They're not nobody is cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean?
See, I think it would have been way cooler, harkening back to the serum. It would have been way cooler if he was forced in that moment, and even in front of the crowd, and the serum, because it couldn't have been 24 fucking hours. Like it can't.
No, it's quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So it's still going. It's still doing its thing. And
I think it just.
Oh, it's just an instant thing?
Yeah, I think so.
That's really great. They don't really go into that at all.
Well, I mean, Steve Rogers, it was instant,
Yeah, that's true. Instant for Steve Rogers and instant for this new serum is like he had all that crazy shit, and they have a little vial.
That mad scientist said, I wanted to do it without having a Vita Ray chamber or whatever it was called.
And it doesn't change your muscular structure or anything other stuff.
Well, but you got to imagine that a soldier training to be Captain America was going to be a lot closer to that physical build than Steve Rogers, the scrawny guy that couldn't pass the physical to just be a grunt in the military.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't notice a difference. Plus those costumes are padded anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't have to bulk him up to prove he was.
And I like the idea that the new serum doesn't like jack you up, because anybody.
Saying he's already. We're pretending he's already jacked because he's training to be. Yeah. He's all the time trying to be a
dude. Just that shit of him throwing the shield in episode 1, and you're like, you're not a super soldier. Oh, all right.
Well, I'm saying he's trying to be in peak physical condition.
If you were me through that shield, we'd be diving out of the way, hoping to God we didn't die. It came back. There were some good moments in this episode. I think here's my biggest problem with what they're doing is. I'm clear that the Flag Smashers want the world to go back before the snap. I am very unclear how they're supposed to get there, or I know why. I'm starting to understand their motivations, though it's taking a lot.
Well, it's that they were welcome places. They were able to leave bad places and go to other places because there was a need for people and resources and labor and stuff.
Yeah.
And now that the natives to that place returned from the snap, that they're now all told to go away. We don't need you anymore, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the way they're doing it. Because he says we're not refugees. We're just like, we're just now it's like It's a weird thing to say because it's like, oh, these people came back and we lost our spots.
I feel as if they're
we lost our homes. We lost.
Yeah,
I get it. There's no room for them.
But I feel as if they're not being very clear about that. They're just kind of like it's being mentioned in conversations.
Like borders were open and now they're closing.
Yeah,
and
like we had a whole episode here, and it was for the most part a slower episode. You had an opportunity.
This one?
Well, with like when
this one had two big fight scenes in it.
When Sam and her were having their moment, you had that moment to really shape why she was doing what she was doing, and she said things that put pieces of that puzzle together.
That moment was.
I'm still not clearly sure what the fuck they're supposed to be doing.
That moment was more for Sam to point out to her where she's going off the wrong path.
And she started,
and he did it pretty quickly.
Yes,
and effectively.
Yeah. No. For sure. What she's or the idea of what she's doing, which I'm still not fully fucking clear on how they're supposed to get there or anything like that. But it's not right. It's not right.
What backfired on them when they blew up that car with those or whatever with the people in
the building? Yeah.
The news said that got it was like it inspired countries to start closing borders, et cetera, et cetera. And you saw them have a negative reaction to hearing that, but then the news also then said, but they're getting a growing support.
How are they going to bring everything back though? What's their end game? How are they going to do it?
I don't know. I think they want.
Were they just going to give the other vials of the super soldier serum to a couple other people and start a militia? I mean, you're talking about billions of people that came back in a snap of an instant.
But they're building a movement, so they're inspiration. They're trying to inspire the masses.
All that's so unclear.
Yeah,
so unclear. And that's my problem because this is the A plot of the show.
It is, but it isn't.
You don't think so?
The plot is about the Shield and Captain America and this John Walker character and Zemo and super soldiers in general and whatever. I really feel like the Flag Smasher thing and the issue is just what this is all centered around.
Yeah,
Like if this was the main thing, they would be clearer about it and they would focus more on it. It's all about like Power Broker and Zemo and Sharon and John Walker and
who do you think the Power Broker is?
I don't know. I'm really like
I tried thinking last night. I'm trying to connect names to it, and I'm like. Sharon kind of makes sense in some ways, but doesn't make sense in others.
I feel like
Zemo makes sense in some ways, but doesn't make sense in others.
It's not him.
Because he was in jail for all that time, prison.
No, it's not that. It's that why would Zemo be making super soldier
only to destroy it when he got his hands back on it?
Well, he never, but that was his whole thing. Like, from day one, Zemo was about destroying these heroes. They're bad for, why would he ever create the potential to make more of them? So it's not Zemo. Yeah. If it is, it's going to make no sense.
No.
Especially since, like you said, he crushed them all. He didn't even save one for himself.
Yeah.
That
was awesome because I was like, don't do that stupid thing, man.
You thought that he was going to be like, well, I might as well just take
it.
He's
totally. That's the thing I love.
But he was right. He's like everyone that wants to take it is a supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his character's so clever and so well written, and the most interesting. We kind of see the path that John Walker's on, and you could predict it. It's that, it's almost that Anakin path. It's that kind of thing, and but Zemo has just become this completely three-dimensional character, and he's the most resourceful one out of the bunch.
Oh, yeah.
He knows to go and bring candy to children to get the information.
He knows how to talk to people.
To be a Baron, to be that street smart, it's like really cool. It's the way they're doing it.
But and I say this forever, who they cast. Daniel Bruhl's perfect. Yeah. And it's going to be very interesting because he's got a great personality, and he does all these little details. He shows even though he's their enemy. Yeah.
And even though they're at odds, he still shows them both a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Like, especially Sam. The more and more they hang out, I think the more and more I think
really
likes Sam.
He respects the fact that Sam is, for better or worse, going to do this without the help, without the serum, because when he was like, oh, real quick response on that's he was like, okay, cool, like not so much like minds, but he respects the fact that Sam will go to the limitations of his body, but he won't go further than that. He won't, it is what it is with him, Which is interesting because that's basically the same question when Walker asks his buddy, and he goes, like,
1,000%, yeah.
All the serum,
Yeah.
A serum bukkake, let's do it.
And you're not saying either of those people are bad people.
No.
Or have bad motivations.
No. It's just different.
But one just gets it, and the other one doesn't understand.
Because one's seen it, and the other hasn't.
Right. Well, I mean,
because even Zemo says, like, when they call him out on, like,
Sam, maybe that's speaking from hindsight, knowing Bucky,
but knowing what Steve went through too. Remember, everyone forgets because but we got to see it in the movies. All the hard decisions Steve had to make, and all the hard decisions he made, he didn't give them almost any thought. I'm going to do this the right way no matter what. And Sam was along the ride for all of that. So that was really cool to see now that all these questions come around, all these moral gray areas, and Sam is, nope, this is the way it has to be done.
Which is funny. I guess being around him rubbed off on him.
Yes.
Did being around Bucky rub off on Cap? Is that because I feel like Bucky was kind of his older brother figure.
Yes. No, especially from the first movie, yeah.
So it's interesting that like once you get rid of the Winter Soldier, that Bucky, like, he'd argue till he's blue in the face, he doesn't deserve it. But of all the people, maybe he does. He's
the best qualified,
especially since he's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah, he's still. After all of this,
because when you remove his Winter Soldier experience, which we all know wasn't all him, he was more than a fair amount of Hydra fucking with his mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, he was scrambled eggs.
Which, by the way, that opening scene with him and the words and Sebastian Stan,
which is his acting,
fantastic acting, sir. That was Alec Baldwin level of acting right there.
I don't know what that means.
That was some good ass acting. I don't know why I invoked the Baldwin for that.
I feel like that threw a big portion of sarcastic shade on it, whether you intended to or not.
No, I go back to American Team America. Oh, okay.
You're not convincing me at all.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it's funny because Bucky before all that, Bucky and Cap are like. He's just an older version. He was his older brother, Steve Rogers, and instilled a lot of that, the values that Steve held.
Yeah, I feel like Steve looked up to him.
Yes.
And that he was his role model.
That's how I also felt. Yeah.
So even if they were the same age, because he was the one that was going to war and that was volunteer, and that that they were cut from, the same mold or whatever. I think they need to maybe at some point acknowledge that. Once, somewhere along the way, although people love Bucky, Winter Soldier, or whatever you want to call him,
I feel like being Cap would be the best thing for him, if for no other reason that it gives him the opportunity to make up for things that he can't.
Two things, though. He's already doing that. He's got his list, and he's trying to make up for
it. My Name is Earl list? Yeah, I love it.
And two... And
that's a Cap thing. That's something Cap would do.
But two is that he doesn't need a shield except as a symbol. His arm is a shield. The shield. It's literally a shield.
She gave him the 5-finger death.
Oh, it was like watching the end of Kill Bill 2.
It was.
Instead of having a heart attack, his arm fell off. But I'm saying, that arm. I think he even says it. I have a shield.
Yeah,
and it was that arm.
Yeah.
It's made from the same stuff. Everything. Yeah. So it's like, just. And again, he knows, and everyone knows, of the two. Even racial thing aside, because there's a ton of people who don't want a black Captain America, but Bucky was a Russian sleeper agent that murdered people for years and years and years,
including Tony Stark's parents.
And people are well aware of that as well. Yeah. You can't. Of the two, I think
it's impossible.
Yeah.
Because even
he would never. He knows he can never be that simple.
Because even in the comics, wasn't he like Cap in the shadows, kind of?
It's been all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been all kinds of things. But in the comics, you've got decades to do whatever you want.
Sam has,
and this is like
in this series, in just this series, if you take the history.
I mean, obviously, Sam is the most deserving.
Yes.
Of anyone. They keep pounding it.
Yeah.
Every chance they can get. And Zemo's been doing a good job of drawing that out for us.
Yeah. Either intentionally or not.
Right. Which
nothing Zemo does is unintentional, so.
Oh, dude, when he's just like, when they're all fighting and Bucky and Sam are just sitting there and they cut to Zemo and he's just still sipping his drink casually. Yeah. And then once they all get involved, and he just kind of like, all right, I'm out here.
To slip on out.
I got it.
But I love, like, even in the beginning when they're like, don't talk. Don't even talk. No, we don't even want to hear you speak. Because they know. They know. Like, Zemo's like,
he's got the silver tongue.
Yes, sir, he does.
But they get to know him. He's like, don't let him get to you. He'll do that thing where tilt his head.
Yeah.
And then you see like Zemo realize his head's tilted and he straightens. It's like they've become a married triplet or trio.
Yeah.
And they all know each other pretty well now.
This is the three Caballeros right here, okay?
This is great.
I had thought that his moment, Zemo's villain moment, was going to be killing Battlestar Galactica. But listen,
it's coming. Zemo, we are
that moment.
What they're doing?
But what's he going to do now? Who's he going to kill?
What they're doing right now? What they're doing is making us like Zemo, almost find him.
They gave us an hour-long dance video of him.
They are doing their best to make us like him, so that when he does whatever fucked up shitty thing he's going to do, either next week or the week after, that it's going to be like that heartbreaking, shocking. It'll be sad for whoever he does it to, and it'll probably be a beloved character, but it'll also be like almost a betrayal to us because we've started to like him.
I think it has to be, it's one of three characters. One of three characters. It's either going to be Bucky, which I find highly unlikely.
No, because I think they have a season 2 of this already. They've announced.
His sister.
I don't think that's a possibility either. I feel like they're too far removed. Like they introduced her. They've now realized they've now done the thing they needed to introduce her for.
Yeah.
Which was set up the meeting.
Yeah.
So they could keep them away from Walker, so they could try and kill Walker.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no reason for Zemo to go to Louisiana for any reason. They're still, where are they, in Europe?
Latvia.
Yeah, in Europe. So it's like, I mean, what is Zemo going to go? Why is Zemo going to go to the country, one of the countries that's hunting for him the most?
What I'm trying to understand in my head is,
other than Wakanda,
what's the final motivation going to be where Sam realizes this has to be me? And it's real hard for me because I was just like, I thought that was going to circle around because in the middle of the episode, you got Hopkins talking with Walker, trying to be his Jiminy Cricket, and he's doing a fairly good job while it's come from a gray area of life. But he's giving the best advice that he can.
Now he doesn't have that.
That. So, and it's just like, I kept thinking they were going to build this character up to be kind of like the guy that holds that tenuous relationship
and
together.
The other two people that are now, like, if you're going right from that moment of the end of last episode, they're going to be like, you got to get the fuck out of here. And they take him with them. Now the only two people to talk to about this don't like him to begin with. No, don't think he should be this.
Yep, and he knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, man. And now he's a super soldier.
Yeah.
So now,
he thinks he's like their equal.
And here's the thing I don't understand. Maybe you can solve this for me. When Bucky had to go in Winter Soldier mode, I mean, that man cleared house like he did in fucking the Winter Soldier movie.
But right, because taking the serum doesn't make you a good fighter. It's not like, remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show? Remember how every time someone turned into a vampire, they immediately became a ninja? They immediately knew martial arts and could do all this flippity-do fighting shit. This is not this. Yeah. It's not like the Matrix where you immediately download, fight styles when you take the serum. You still have to learn how to do that stuff. Walker knows how to do that, but Bucky, I mean, decades of. Well,
here's what's getting me.
The dark arts.
Outside of that one moment, he's really either been equaled. I mean, I know there's super soldiers too. But let's be honest, he should have wreaked fucking havoc with all those fucking flag smashers.
He did. He kicked the guy right through the wall and said, "Stay there." That was it.
Yeah.
He literally just kicked it. He knew how to handle situations, subdue the guy as quickly as possible.
Oh my goodness! I'm just thinking about it. Sam and Bucky are going to steal the shield to keep it away from him because he's now fucking unstable.
I don't know how this is.
Teamed up, they can do it. Even just to steal the shield and run away.
Teamed up. I mean, he went toe to toe with Steve.
Yeah.
Remember in
lots of times.
But lots
of times. Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, he kicked his ass.
He did.
I mean, the one time was kind of a draw or whatever. Yeah. But then at the end, Cap wasn't fighting back.
Yeah.
But that first time they went toe to toe.
Yeah.
I mean, before he knew it was Bucky, where he wasn't holding back. It's
going to be interesting. Because I think they have to steal the shield now. Because now
I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if the government's going to if he's going to go rogue and the armed forces are going to be like, listen, bring in, you need to bring him in.
This might bring in War Machine.
And they bring him in. Because
we've already seen.
They finally catch him and bring him in, and they're like, "Where's the shield?" And Sam's like, "No, I gave it back to you guys once.
Yeah,
this is not what Steve wanted. Steve wanted me to have it. I'm keeping it." Yeah. That might be how this works out. That's simple. Where they're asked to bring him in.
It seems like we're going to be left at a cliffhanger no matter what we're at. Even with the 2 hours left. It just seems the pacing.
You would think they have to resolve some of the stuff because I know that certain storylines have to continue into the rest of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And even if the show's going to have another season next year, there may be some things that happen in between.
Is John Walker a Skrull?
We know he's not.
I know.
We know he's not mostly because probably. Well, did they duplicate it on the molecular level? Because I know they've drawn blood on him a gazillion times.
Yeah.
To be before they would say yes, you're going to be Captain America.
Yeah.
That they're running every genetic test on him imaginable. Yeah. So I doubt it.
Everyone's a Skrull.
Until
proven otherwise. Just a bunch of Skrulls. We're just watching Skrull TV right now. Maybe Sam's the only non-Skrull. No, it's no, man. It's crazy because they keep saying it's got to branch off to a bunch of stuff, but I'm like, so far I don't see it branching off into much. So I guess
but we didn't know. Like the same thing with Wanda Vision.
Yeah.
Until you see where it's going, you don't know. So
it's just like with WandaVision, we had a more clear, we knew this is going to end up in some shit. Something's going to happen.
Well, it seems like you could look at it this way: is that this is street level compared to cosmic?
Yeah.
So it's different. It's affecting the Marvel Universe in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to find out who the power broker is. We're going to find out...
God, I hope we find out who the power broker is.
Who Sharon's boss is. If she's working for Sword.
Can the power broker...
Maybe she's working for Sword.
Oh, she's definitely working for somebody.
Yeah, but is it a good guy? Is it a bad guy? Is
Sword a good guy? We don't know yet.
Yeah, Sword is Sam Jackson in space.
Oh, that's right. I keep muddling out with the fucking comic book Sword. That I remember, because I stopped reading.
Well, the comic book Sword was basically S.H.I.E.L.D.'s space division, kind of. It was still the same thing, except it was that it was that lady with the green hair running it.
Yeah, I can't remember her fucking name.
I don't remember either.
But
she was not a mutant, but she was allied with the mutants. I don't remember.
That was around the time that I started getting tired of X-Men.
Well, it was probably the time where everyone got tired of the X-Men. Yeah. They rebooted it.
Not too long.
A year and a half ago. It's fantastic.
Everything's coming to a head, and I think now that the world now sees Cap fucking behead somebody with the fucking shield, which was...
I don't think he chopped his head off.
I think he did.
I don't know. I don't know.
There was a lot of blood in that shield, buddy.
I thought it was like his abdomen, torso area. But I don't know. It's ironic. He killed the guy that looked up to Captain America as a kid.
Yeah. I thought about that irony like not too far after that. I was just like, wait, oh my God, yeah, holy shit. Now, if this was Invincible, we'd have seen the head roll down the fucking stair.
Yeah, but it's still Disney.
Yeah.
That was a lot of blood. That was some thick...
For Disney?
Some thick, chunky stuff on the end of that shield.
For Disney, that was a lot of blood. That was a statement right there. I liked it.
I like how conveniently he grabs the shield and does it. And it just so happens to be... Like when he puts it back, his arm through it, it happens to be on the bottom, like perfectly where it's supposed to be. Dude, it's like, come on, all right, we get it.
It's just a shot of just imagery. That last shot was awesome.
Yeah, it was. You see it like he's just like he's snapped.
Yeah,
and he's now looking around and he sees that everyone is filming.
And now he's powerful enough to where you're gonna respect his ass.
Maybe,
but we'll see. We'll see what happens because. I don't think there's really any more time for quiet moments.
I really that's true, but I don't see how Bucky can't just hand him his ass.
Yeah, neither can I. It just makes me upset that it's going to be way more of a two-sided fight than it needs to be. Because for some reason, like they're selective when they remember that he was the Winter Soldier. Like he sometimes.
I mean, I get it. Walker's this super soldier without the serum. You know, he's like
Bucky single-handedly shifted worldwide events for what 70 years.
I don't know.
So like however long it was.
50s to the 50s.
When
70s, 60 years.
So I give
50s. So
I give Walker all the respect in the world, but you're right. This should be a pretty one-sided affair.
Yeah.
Even with which, from a character perspective, should drive him even further down the deep rabbit hole because now he's a super soldier and it doesn't matter. He still gets his ass worked.
Right. I mean, Bucky is probably still. You could say that maybe he's still holding back when they fight. If they fight. And Walker won't be, and maybe that's the edge because he's got the don't hurt anyone.
But you also got Falcon there too,
and he's not a murderous Russian, mindless robot anymore. So but I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
I did like those. I always like those little like every now and then they don't always do it, but like because he's not always wearing the outfit. But when Falcon's wearing the suit. Like, the way he uses it in battle, even when he's not flying
really
around.
Creative. Really creative.
Like, he put some momentum behind, like, a punch. Yeah. And, like, that kind of stuff is cool.
Yeah. They did a really good job maximizing the potential of the suit in combat with somebody who's just a dude. I feel like they've made more out of it than they did in the comics. I think so, too. Because in the
comics, it's really just a flight thing.
Yeah.
And because I don't think until... the movies came around that it was like a jet. Was it jet powered? Was it artificially powered? I don't ever remember. Or was he just a guy with wings? I feel like it was a guy with wings.
That's what I thought.
He's like just a benevolent vulture. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Now, Sam's never had the serum in the comics, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But he's been Captain America now. So the interesting thing is that I thought this series was going to be him trying to be, or not trying to be, but using the shield and everyone rejecting him, and it was going to be a very racially tinged show in that regard.
And they started to hint towards it, but then they got away from it for the last episode.
Well, because he didn't take the shield. In the first whatever minutes of the episode, he's giving it back. So, but it's... Without him saying it, we all know that it's because he understands America in 2020, and that if he does take that shield, he's in for a whole mess of problems, headaches, whatever.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You want to skip ahead here, or you got more?
No, we're good on Winter Soldier. I'm looking forward to what happens next episode. Unless you want to jump into Invincible here, buddy.
I think that's the other thing we'll talk about.
Yeah,
we'll fuck off.
So I never read the show. I mean, never read the comic. So because
I think it started like 12 or 15 years ago.
It was before Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Kirkman's earliest work, and everyone fucking praised it. I just never read it. For whatever reason, one reason or the other. I never read it. And I went into this show. I've got the opportunity to go into this show with no knowledge whatsoever of what was going on. And we're in episode 4? Was that what was episode 4 or 5?
5, I think.
Yeah. And at this point of the series, man, I am in 100% in on everything they're doing with this show. This is like the perfect superhero show because it's all the different areas, black, white, and gray. Plus, they pull 0 punches.
If you want to compare it to the comics, I think what they've done is, with hindsight and knowing all the arcs from the books, that they have laid so many threads and seeds that they didn't do in the original comic, because he did storyline by storyline.
Yeah,
that he's laying the threads for like, God, I don't know,
years worth of stories.
Like, the original series ran like 123 or 125 issues.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like the threads from like 40 issues are in these first 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah,
which is great. It's great because having read the entire run, mostly as it came out, I think when Walking Dead got hot early on, I was like, what else does this guy do? And I went back and read the Invincibles, and then caught up to like issue 20, and then started reading them regularly.
I stopped reading Walking Dead after issue 100.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. I was just like, okay, it was great, but
it's the same shit.
It's the same shit. That's all it is.
It's just new characters. But this Invincible show, because I am intimately familiar with the entire run.
Yeah,
like I see all these cool things they're doing, and how they've tweaked things, changed things
to benefit the story
and introduced new stuff.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
in 5 episodes, I could just say, I see so much of what they're doing from this, because I know where all of those threads go.
Yeah,
that it's really exciting that they went back and kind of like, all right, let's. Now that we're sophisticated writers, let's tell this in a.
I remember
this in a nice tapestry.
I remember reading an article where Kirkman said that he has the benefit of hindsight with the show now because he has all the Walking Dead stuff behind him now and all this stuff and who he is now.
Well, he's just like I've
progressed.
I was, as a writer or an artist or anything, you get better as you go. That was 15 years ago. I can write that better now.
But like not having read the comics, like. When his mom's got Hellboy's little, I don't know the guy's name. I call him Hellboy.
He's Devil Detective.
Yeah, the Devil Detective,
Demon Detective.
When she's got the handbook and she starts going through it, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna. She pulls him from the fucking house for fucking 20 minutes and shit, and I'm just like, God damn, like this is going. It's like, it's crazy because I don't know. I don't know why the fuck he decided to murder all the entire fucking that version Justice League.
Well, I won't tell you, but I know.
Yeah. I can only assume it has to do with the alien race and his original mission to the planet. Am I anywhere close to that?
You're like, you're right down the path.
Okay, cool. So it's familiar in many ways then. It's kind of like he's like an anti-Superman kind of thing. Which I'm fine with. I'm fine with. And I guess at the end of the day, it's going to be the struggle of what happens when Mark finds out.
See, I don't think...
And I don't want you to spoil anything, because I really enjoy it.
In the comics, I don't... Again, I read these issues that we probably are dealing with in the show right now, 10 years ago. So it's hard to remember everything, but I don't remember them getting this into, like... I don't think the wife ever suspected. Oh, you know what I mean?
There's either all new plot points.
This is new. This is like more fleshed out than they did originally in the comics.
Okay.
I think in the comics, a lot of what he's doing that you're like, oh, this guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's snowing everyone. I think he caught everyone with their pants down in the comics. Like nobody saw it coming.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if he even killed. I don't think he even killed the group ahead of time. I think that came in his bigger betrayal, and all at once. Oh, I think it's hard to remember.
Yeah,
but I know that I'm pretty sure.
So they have shifted things around.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure his because I think this is more interesting to know that he's a piece of shit early.
Yeah,
and look at people sniffing around those edges.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting for the show. In the comics,
and you see the people that know, but for whatever reason are protecting him, like half dead face, whatever.
The guy that runs the agency.
The guy who runs the agency because he's protected.
Well,
him.
He doesn't know.
He knows something.
But he's like, keep an eye. We wanted to send him off planet so we could investigate.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah,
but they
suspect.
He smells. He's starting to have an odor to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And unfortunately, he's the most powerful being on the planet. There's nothing you could do.
Right.
Yeah.
Omni-Man. Was that his name?
Yeah, Omni-Man. Yeah.
It's great.
Voiced by J. Jonah Jameson.
the coolest thing, like this doesn't spoil anything.
Yeah.
Coolest thing I popped for when I realized it was that every Viltrumite across the galaxy is the same mustache gimmick.
Oh, really?
Like that's their gimmick. They wear mustaches. Now, there might be times where one has a beard, but he still has a mustache. You know, it's almost like part of their species uniform is that they grow the mustache. Yeah. It's funny.
It just definitely seems to me like this more of a conquering race of beings more than any.
Oh, you think he's lying?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Why would you? I mean, he did murder a bunch of people and is obscuring that. I don't know if that means you need to question everything he says. Did he?
Now, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. Did he? And I don't know if they played it differently in the comics than they did in the show. Did he expect to survive that?
I assume so.
Or was he just like?
I don't think you go into those things. I don't think anyone's going into these things as like suicide runs. I don't think he's like that. Doesn't.
Because it took the entire league, and they died, obviously, in the most horrific possible ways. Which for some reason is also refreshing to watch in a hey, this is how it would really work. Like if Batman gets thrown by Superman, he doesn't just bounce.
Right.
But I mean,
this isn't wrestling where they know how to roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
And land flat on their back.
If Superman hits you, you're dead. Right. And that aspect of the show, I love the aliens in, was it episode 2 or 3 that just they come through, something's killing them. Back. Oh, we fixed it. Back again.
Was that that wasn't the first episode?
That was like the second, I thought.
Oh. Well, they're from another dimension.
Yeah.
And time moves slower or something.
And then Omni-Man comes in and he just murders their entire civilization.
Destroys.
Jesus
But
you
got all these plot threads. You got that alien that came to check on him.
Yep.
You got the Martians.
The Martians that are the thing that came back in the space shuttle.
You've got I mean, there's so many things. I'm like, there's so many that I can't even remember.
You've got this weird love triangle they're setting up with him.
Yeah.
And the two girls
with Atom, Eve, and whatever's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Iris Allen. And
they're all Iris Allen.
I feel like that makes us look terrible. Saying
probably, but
it's not in the intended purpose.
No.
I'm trying to think what some of the other plot threads are. I mean, are they Global Guardians or whatever the fuck they're called? And that guy that worked him in letting him take over the criminal empire.
Oh yeah.
There's so many cool things going on already.
What's his face though? Rex, the guy who Rexplode. I hate him with a burning passion.
You're supposed to.
I want him to die so badly.
The funny thing is,
so badly.
The guy doing his voice, is Jason Mazzutakis or something. He's like it's a Greek last name.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen The League,
yes,
which was about the fantasy football, he plays Rafi, the dirty, crazy hair. That's his voice. So every time I hear that guy, I'm not so I'm picturing that guy doing the voice for this character, and it fits so well.
Yeah.
It fits so well.
Yeah. Because the only thing I can think is he has powers. He's kind of like Pyro, where he could generate fire. Explosions.
But I think it makes it like it makes things explode.
And I'm just like, other than that, he's like a normal dude. And I'm like, how are you still alive? Why is everyone else?
I love him banging the girl that
dude, that was great. That was great. That whole thing when she walked in. I loved it. No, it's a great show. It really is one of the better superhero shows because it just doesn't give a fuck, man. It just tells this is like in real life, this is how it would go.
The guy that clones himself, and then they immediately both think they're the original.
That's great.
Every time.
That's great.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
That character slowly winning me over because at first I'm like, what the fuck are these two? Then he sacrifices one. I'm like, well, no, there's only one of you. I get the gimmick now. Okay.
And so that's there's no source material left. One always thinks they're the original.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Whatever they're doing, whatever their end game is, the fucking robot leading the whole thing, obviously is all fucked up.
Well, he's that
by programming or whatnot.
Well, he's that thing in the tube. Remember the misshapen, grotesque, like Quado looking thing?
That's him.
Yeah, he's the one controlling the robot. Oh, he's robot.
Oh shit!
So not to ruin anything, but he gave a genetic sample to those two guys, obviously to make a new body.
Oh,
that's not ruining anything. You could piece that together.
Does he have really cool superpowers when he's not a robot?
I think
or is he just a dude? I guess it doesn't matter.
You'll find out.
He's obviously tired of being a robot.
Yeah. Well, he's tired of being a thing in a glass tube of liquid, you know. He looks like an aborted fetus in a specimen jar, you know.
It's
you could see in the comic he's already like forming an attachment to Monster Girl.
Yeah.
And so I think he wants, for the first time, he's wanting to create, probably, again, I read the comics a million years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, when I say this stuff, I'm literally piecing it from what I'm watching now.
You just guessing.
But you're thinking like he probably always wanted to have his own body. But but that like now he's really motivated because he's like got feelings for this girl, and
I guess she didn't die.
Monster Girl, no.
Okay.
No, because she turned back to a girl.
Yeah, I thought that.
And she didn't. Her skull wasn't exposed anymore.
Oh. Man, that was a beat down in the half.
That was a hell of a beat down.
Is that Tiger guy, like, is he a bigger character down the road?
He pops in and out.
Because he seems
he's like cosmically powerful.
Yeah. He seems like Thanos' cousin who just doesn't want to deal with the whole deal, but he'll take your money. And he's
like a Lobo, I think.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. Right. I feel like because he's doing a job here.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and he's looking for a fight and he didn't get it.
Yeah. It feels like a Lobo type.
I have a feeling the next episode opens up with Omni-Man over Mark's bed, like, told you so.
Well, again, it's all these people starting to suspect that Omni-Man's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's like he thought he saw his dad hovering there.
I totally saw his dad hovering
there.
But
Mark.
Oh, yeah.
His eyes open. He thinks he sees Daddy close. He opens again. He's not there.
Yeah.
So did he see him? Didn't he? Yeah. He just got his. He just got his.
What's he gonna do?
His ticket punch. So,
Omni-Man sees a baby guy that could hold. I'm a giant piece of shit.
I assume Omni-Man made the anonymous call.
Yes.
That got them there.
Yeah.
But he never pitched in.
Nope.
He never came in.
He watched them get their asses worked.
And I guess he knows his kid can't really that his kid wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
Or he was like, if he dies, it's very Drago. If he dies, he dies.
I take this as their race, and this is a little bit too nerd
very
for you.
Stoic,
but they're very like from the Dragon Ball series. They're very like Saiyan like, where they're just like, all right, like you want to be a warrior, go be a warrior. Oh, guess you weren't that great. Oh well,
yeah,
kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not going to help you.
Yeah,
I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it and then showing up in the last second, like, you know, like pulling the Han Solo in Star Wars. But then there's also I said I wasn't going to help you.
But Titan getting Invincible to do all his dirty work for him so he could take, that was some cheese shit right there. Yeah,
that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
But that's another character where it's like, here we go. It's a guy that gets put in a bad situation. Then he is like, well, he takes over and he's like, but we're going to run things differently.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
it's always the same.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
Yeah.
But good for him.
Yeah.
For the short time
that'll be an interesting run-in when they encounter each other again.
Well, shit. Yeah. No.
I'm curious how many episodes are left. I don't know.
I have a feeling Invincible is going to be a long-running thing.
No, but I mean, like, for this season, you know, like,
I would say most
unquote.
Amazon stuff's like what, 11, 12 episodes?
I think it's 8 or 10.
Oh, it might be.
Like, let's pretend.
Oh, because it is longer. It's like
it's The Boys. Was it 8 or 10?
I can't fucking remember.
I think I watched Carnival Row again the other day, and it was like 10.
It might be.
Because
these are longer episodes, 45, 50 minutes. So yeah. And you forget that when you sit down Friday night to watch everything, and you're like, oh, it's 11, 12 o'clock by the time you're done watching all this shit.
It's interesting because you could see Amazon doesn't blink at the money, the cast, and then see I watch most of these shows with the captions on.
Yeah.
Probably not as important for a cartoon, but like when I watch like Winter Soldier, it's like if someone mumbles or if you hear a sound effect, like sometimes you don't hear the sound effects or stuff like that. Horror movies, it's really like when you hear the whispering, it tells you what they're whispering. And you would never hear it otherwise. So it helps sometimes understand what's going on. So in this, when they play music, it says such and such by so and so. They're paying for real music.
Yeah.
They're not just scoring stuff or whatever, having an in-house scoring guy. They're paying the rights for actual songs and stuff. Which is like, you know, not every animated show does that.
No. And the animation is so clean.
It's like, it's not that detailed, but the motion is really smooth on it. Like, it's
very clean.
I really like the motion of it. So can we talk about one other thing?
Sure.
I watched that quote infomercial advertisement with Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, for the Optimus Prime?
For that transforming Optimus Prime?
Yeah.
That thing is insane.
It is insane. Here's the thing, though.
How big is it? It's like
12 inches tall.
It looked bigger.
Yeah.
It looked like it might be a foot and a half tall.
I mean, and here's the thing. It's like...
It does everything. It transforms itself. It has all these like poses, and it can walk, and it can drive. Excuse me. I think they said there's like 123 commands or something. It does.
Yeah, it's got like 6.
And you can put them in a sequential order, so it does like.
Yeah.
It could, like, essentially, you could have it act out a scene or something. It's like it does a superhero pose. It does this. It does that. It can walk. It shoots. Like, makes sound effects. That thing is insane.
That robot's been available for
$700, right?
That robot's been available for almost 2 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
Look at you, jaded motherfucker.
I was about to say.
Well, the other thing was you didn't sell my observation when I commented on your thing. What was it called? What was the site? It's
Trans fans.
Trans fans. I'm like, you're sharing something for trans fans. I get it, it's Transformers. But I just commented #trans fans.
Ben?
And you no-sold the shit out of it.
Because I just got it now.
Oh my God.
Because
now
I said it out loud.
Any other person on the planet, if they were following a Facebook page called Trans Fans, it would be the other thing. But because it's fucking you, there's no doubt that Trans Fans means Transformers.
And here, as the bitter Transformers fan from the 80s, I watched that video, and my only takeaway was like, how the fuck did they get Jay and Bob to do this?
I'll tell you how.
Well, I know. It's like when it all comes like nerd culture,
No.
What?
They're currently producing. He's currently producing. Like, he's overseeing. He's like the showrunner, the shot caller, everything. Masters of the Universe show for
Holy
Netflix.
Shit, I forgot.
So he's
about
already
that.
tied to Mattel.
Yeah,
or Hasbro. So but it's Hasbro that makes both, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I think so.
Masters of the Universe was Mattel, I thought.
Was it? All right. Well, then I'm wrong.
But when you come to like 80s nerd culture, Kevin Smith is kind of like one of those one of the guys. It was I loved it because Jay and Bob, but the actual figure itself, it's been available for like 2 years. It's not accurate. I don't like it. It's whatever.
He's such a fucking.
I am. This is where my bitterness and
I didn't even realize that. I thought you were gonna be like swooning over
Fuck no. I mean, it's cool. It is. It is cool because it does all these things.
It probably can't be super accurate because it has to be functional.
But me, it
has to actually do the thing.
Here's me super nerding out. You can make a superposable, transforming, workable Optimus Prime that was very accurate to the cartoon pretty decently. I think you could do it. And this is just kind of like what happened was some company made this thing, and I've seen it for years now. Hasbro bought the rights to it, and it's cool. It sort of resembles Optimus Prime in the meaningful ways. And for you know what it's for? It's for two people. It's for people with too much money that just buy nerd shit to buy nerd shit. And it's for the Transformer fans that are borderline like fucking special in some way. Because that's always the Transformer fans that buy all that ridiculous Hasbro nonsense that no one else should ever spend money on. Like $600-700 for something. Like
I think like there's two sets. There's the people that like the newest version of something, even though like the purists reject it.
Yeah.
There's always like that next generation that grew up on something else. Whatever it is. Whether it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a great example of that.
It's actually the best example when you compare it with Transformers because TMNT is the only other property that has changed as much as it's changed in the last 30 years.
You could be the original comic book buyers that bought those original issues, which were like Frank Miller, Dark.
Shredder dies in the first issue.
Dark kind of shit. Or then you're the cartoon, and then the
movies,
the toy version. Mm-hmm. You know, when they sold, I guess the cartoon was a toy version.
And there's been so many iterations of TMNT.
And even the
which generation are you?
I'll tell you that show, not the newest one on Nick. The first Nickelodeon show they did that ran like 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Is the coolest fucking thing I ever saw.
You and
Adrian.
Yeah, it's back and forth.
We love that. But yeah, so that's a good example. But then there's also the completists that from day one to now have bought every single fucking thing.
Yes.
It's like I've been collecting for so long I can't not buy.
Yeah.
I have everything else. I have to buy this. It's a compulsion.
I fell in that trap for a long time. I'm no longer.
Been caught in a trap.
I just
don't look back.
I literally my collection at this point is pretty much complete. They're coming out with a few last masterpiece figures that I want in like the next year or so, and I'm pretty much done collecting except for little cool things here and there, like when they do like a Ghostbusters Transformer or the Back to the Future. Fuck whatever they did with Top Gun. That thing was garbage. I'm not buying that, but like just little things here and there. Like I just don't buy. And besides which, you know, I'm about to have a fucking kid and she's gonna want all her shit, so toy money is going to be dispersed differently in the Salvino household in the next year or so.
Yeah. Besides that, you want to make sure the kid doesn't start playing with your toys.
Yeah. That's we're the wife and I are still talking about how secure that room is going to be. You can't.
You should just like wire everything so if you touch it, you get an electric shock.
It's been discussed. It's been discussed. Low level.
Or just a shock collar on the kids so they can't enter that room.
See, this is 2021. I think that's, people frown on that shit, brother.
We won't talk about it on the podcast.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
We won't until it's like, till the kid's 18.
You see
and we realize that they're not totally fucked up. Or the therapist says, no, they're fucked up. But it wasn't because of shock collar.
All right.
It was just because you went back to wrestling or something.
Oh, Jesus. And today being WrestleMania, yeah.
Right. Well, yes.
Yeah. Yes. We're gonna
Today is day 1 of WrestleMania. Listen, I guess this qualifies under the nerd geek culture stuff.
It does get
wrestling. It is so fucked up that it's a 2-day event now.
I don't understand it at all.
Well, it's everybody. Well, I understand it. It's money.
Everybody needs their payday.
Well, not that everyone needs their payday. It's that why have one night when you can have two? All these people fly in, other than pandemic aside, all these people flying from all over the world to do this. There's so much money.
Yeah.
If you could sell an arena twice instead of once.
Yeah.
Like you could tell Springsteen not to have 2 dates in a row in Jersey.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same fucking people that go each night, but they're going to go both nights. It's the same thing. It's just money. It's money, 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 money. And also the fact that they got a tremendously overbloated roster.
Yep.
So it's not like they're having to go find locals to work WrestleMania for that second night. There's so many people that they've got under their employ now that it's one night's not enough.
I can honestly say that I have not met one person who's legitimately excited about this weekend. Like most of it's just like
it's tradition.
It's WrestleMania.
It's tradition. It's like I watch it every year. There's some cool stuff. There's always some cool stuff.
I'm only watching because you're a stairwell away.
That's true. Well, we get it. It's funny because we get the Peacock Network for free. We were like, I was dancing a jig. I'm like, I used to pay $9.99 for the network, but we have Comcast and we get premium Peacock Network for free. I don't even have to pay the $250 a month.
Ben doesn't have to go anywhere for premium.
It's got my Jewish blood popping. I feel effervescent.
It's funny too because they had the WrestleMania banner on Facebook. And, I just like, let's see what because I was
Would you click to see what the card is?
Well, no, I don't care about the card. I don't even know half the people even give a shit about it. I really don't. Like, I'm completely out. But
this is crazy because it's like, I looked at the card. I'm like, this is some crazy shit. You're like, this is the first year that Cesaro has a singles match on Mania. That's one of your best fucking people in your company.
Yeah.
And he hasn't ever had a singles match at WrestleMania.
That's because they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But I looked at the comment section because I'm like, let's see what the masses are saying about WrestleMania. Now, half of the comments are trashing how the way that Peacock.
There's a lot of Mark comments too. That
here's the funny thing though, Ben. There really wasn't.
Really?
There was a lot of people trashing Peacock. Like that seemed to be like the hot new thing.
For what, the censorship stuff?
Everything, yeah. They just really dislike Peacock for whatever reason. And I don't know any different, so I don't really care. I'm just like, this is interesting. But the other half of people are
notice it's a parallel to the Joe Rogan moving to...
Yeah.
They keep removing stuff.
Yep. And I noticed that the other day they removed some of the Milo and the Proud Boy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's funny because I listen to almost every Rogan podcast. I have never listened to a Rogan podcast and went, wow, that was some indoctrinating right-wing garbage nonsense. It's a conversation that two people are having. Whether or not you like them, believe in them.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh, what do we got?
Yo, you're on the podcast. What do you want?
Are we on?
No, we're doing the other one, the one you don't like.
Yeah, the Nerdcast.
Oh, God.
Nerdstuff.
Blake there for the Nerdfest?
No!
Blake won't be on time for the Abandonment Monday one.
I was going to say, we're 10 minutes away from call time here, and he's not there?
No, he's not here. But it is a good go home for us, you calling like
yeah.
this. Yeah?
Yeah, so
all right,
hey, early.
Hey, Fatso, we're gonna wrap it up here, and we'll
take it home. I just wanted to know because I don't want to be in the middle of cooking when you call or
You're always in the middle of cooking.
Cooking or eating or shitting. It's one of those three. Circle of life.
All right, let's finish this up then. We'll get ready for Abandonment Monday.
all right, bud. I love you too.
Okay, bye.
All right. I guess that's our go home.
All right. Well, yeah, no, it was.
I don't even remember what we were in the middle of saying. I saw him call, and I was like, all right, well, he's part of this network. We can put him on.
We were talking about wrestling, and now it's time. Our logical conclusion.
It's probably better to talk about wrestling after the show.
Yeah. So
neither of us have watched any amount.
Maybe we should do a WrestleMania episode. Maybe like.
Are you committed to watch both nights here with me?
Oh fuck! I know the wife's coming over tonight. Let's tell you what. We'll see how tonight goes.
Yeah.
And I'll think about tomorrow. Because one of two things. It's either going to be just genuinely like watchable and enjoyable and I want to see a second night. I'll go, okay, I'll come over. Or it's so bad that I can't stop making fun of it and I need to see more. So it's going to be one of those two. Or it could just be complete trash, and I have no interest in wasting more hours watching whatever Vince McMahon calls wrestling.
Right. You got like more important things to do, like
anything better.
Play with your Transformers.
Anything better. Yes, play with my non-transforming Transformers.
Right.
All right. Let's take this home. It was a good week. We'll be back next week. Episode 5 of Winter Soldiers, 6 of the Invincible, and
or whatever
whatever nerd shit we come up with. Thanks for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. Buy all the merch we don't have available.
Click on some of our links. They're kind of like, some of them are kind of cool. Sign up for like free crypto stuff and whatever, or make some money, make us some money.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you could just like send us money.
Right.
I'm cool with donations.
Yeah.
We always need new things. We'll give you a shout out.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Okay, bye.